Celeste's torso and her head in the trunk of the car, and the prosecutor had to ask what it was because you could not tell it was a head. It was absolutely, it was deplorable.
Now, prosecutors claim that Celeste had threatened to expose the alleged illegal sexual relationship between herself and Burke before she was killed, but that was the motive. Investigators say they found explicit text messages between the two, along with child sexual abuse material on Burke's phone.
All right, so most people, let me give you a backdrop of the story, right? It's this singer named David. He allegedly had an underage girlfriend. Maybe she got pregnant. Maybe some type of altercation happened. She ended up dead. We don't know the cause of death. We don't know anything. That's why he's on trial. But a lot of evidence is pointing towards him. But I also did some research and I found that his management company moved 2 million. So they between 2003 and 2005, he made $11 million. Let me repeat. Between 2003 and 2005, he made $11 million. My thing is this: you're making so much money. Why do you decide to mess with minors? But that's a whole different thing, right? That's a whole, I don't get that. I won't ever understand that. But people are into what they're into. It don't make it right. So David ended up, his management company ended up moving $2 million to different accounts and also to trust and everything else, right? Maybe a protection or anything along that nature. A month or two after the death. So the question would then be, damn, was management involved? Okay. Did management know about this? If so, when did they find out? Because if they found out and they moved it based on David, then they will be considered guilty as well, or an aid to the crime, even if it wasn't physical aid, but it was more so of a financial aid to a crime. So that's going to be the thing that people have to watch out for, because an arrest or a warrant, it will go out. It will go out. But let's continue.
And a Los Angeles police detective testified that Burke's online shopping history showed that he allegedly bought a shovel, chainsaws, cadaver bags, heavy-duty laundry bags, cleaning supplies after he allegedly killed her. Now, Burke has pleaded not guilty to charge.
And also with these things that he bought, right? The shovels, the chainsaws, the body bag, the burnt cage for burning stuff, the heavy-duty laundry bags, the blue inflatable plastic pool, so no splatter or anything else. He ordered these things in someone else's name, but guess what? It still went to the address that he was at. So it wasn't even well thought about. It wasn't thought about. Not saying that you should go out and go commit these things, but it's evidence within allegedly his whole way of thinking.
Just including murder, continuous sexual abuse of a child under 14, unlawfully mutilating human remains. He is innocent unless proven guilty. But we got to talk about what happened today. Joining me now with all the details, we have News Nation senior national correspondent Brian Enton and LA Magazine contributor Lauren Conlon. Spent the day in that courtroom. It's great to have you both here. Lauren, I'm going to start with you. What was it like in the courtroom for the whole day, particularly, though, when those photos were shown? Because that felt like the turning point.
Right. It was incredibly difficult, and I couldn't help myself. I kept looking over at Celeste's father in particular, and, you know, it's heartbreaking. And I actually didn't expect us to see images like that in the courtroom. I really thought maybe they would skip over that. just because it was the preliminary hearings. But unfortunately, that's what set the tone. We saw these photos, I want to say pretty much an hour into the hearings, and from there it just got more and more and more disturbing.
And David showed no emotion, Lauren? Nothing to those photos?
So that was one of the more disturbing parts about this, Jesse. I did not see him tear his eyes away from that screen. He looked at the screen like he was watching a movie. I mean, to me, I have seen defendants in the courtroom when photos are shown or allegations are made, they either shake their head no, they look away. It's hard. I mean, the guy was staring at it like it didn't bother him in the least.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to have an effect on the judge, but if this was in front of a jury, got to wonder if that's going to have an effect. Brian, I think substantively something very interesting happened today. They started not with the tow yard. They didn't start with the crime scene. They started all the way back in 2024 when David first had this interaction with police about his relationship with Celeste, right? When Riverside County got involved, when she was a missing teen. And they showed body cam footage of their interaction with David. What'd you take away from that? What was that footage showing?
Yeah, they did. I mean, they showed up to his house because they were looking for Celeste, and they said that he was polite. He acknowledged that he thought she was 18, but someone else had told him that she was 13. And let's not forget, we're talking about a young girl here. It was something I kept remembering throughout the day. And as Lauren said, to see those pictures in court, Jesse, and like, you don't even really want to hear the details of it, but I mean, she was dismembered. She was in multiple bags. She had decomposed, and you had Celeste's parents sitting in the front row. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, they'll leave during those moments. They didn't leave the courtroom. And what would happen is that the prosecutor would turn around and sort of like whisper to them, like, okay, this is coming up next. We're about to put up this photo. And they would look down. But there were times they were looking. There were. And I was just thinking.
We're going to find out that David had a contract with his record label that was for $6 million per album. Every time he dropped an album, I know you guys never heard of his music, but his music was pretty popular. He was going to get $6 million per album. Just to put it in perspective, that's fucking huge. That would be probably more than 95 to 96% of all musicians currently that's on a major. I say that to say his music clearly was either highly profitable or definitely his label, which was Interscope Records. They were definitely exploiting his likeness and his music to a very high level.